What's up, everybody? We're still in Marseille for a few more days, and I want to show y'all a few more cool things to do while you're here. We've already had breakfast, which was a croissant and orange juice, as bakeries are majority open before 11 a.m. But right now, we're starting the day off with a boat tour. To take this tour, you just have to visit the boathouse, which is in the corner of the old port, right beside the main square, or online if you want to save time. Now, the boat makes 2 tours a day, 11 a.m. and another at 3 p.m. We're on the morning cruise that left at 11 a.m. Now, our boat for this adventure is the Elise, which is the medium-sized boat of the 3. Now, if you're wondering, they have 4 different types of tours: the Integral, the Essential, and Bay. The 4th is only active July to August and just adds swimming to the Essential tour. But we're on the Integral tour, which is the longest of the 3 tours. With a total time of 3 hours and 50 minutes, the Integral tour will take us past Chateau d'If, which is the setting for Condomini de Cristo, followed by Croix de Cap Croisets, as well as the huge cliffs around Marseille, before skirting the coastline to show us several inlets that are great for swimming, before reaching the small town of Cassis at the end. After which, we'll turn around and make our way back to the old port where we started, so that the next group of people can enjoy the sights. Now, if you're looking for tickets on the Integra or any of the other tours, I'll leave a link in the description. Tickets for these tours runs $26 or 32 euros. That's about 28 or 36 total, depending on the conversion. That was amazing and spectacular views, y'all. Now, if y'all want to know about the boathouse, this is it right here. What's up, y'all? Today we're sitting there going up to, we're gonna tour the cathedral, Notre Dame de la Garde Basilica, which was an old fort in the 15 and 1600s. This fort is built at the top of Marseille, which overlooks basically the whole city as a defense. Cool sights and stuff. It's a massive, take a look. Actually, right over there, if you look in the distance, there's a little island. That island is actually the island for the Count of Monte Cristo. So, just came out of the crypt area, so I didn't want to do too much talking in there because a lot of people were praying and stuff. So, didn't want to do too much interrupting. Plus, I have to respect the religious sex of it. Maybe like the mosque. And also take off a hat, which did. So now. The end of here is like so picturesque and stuff. Like, look at the view. So the other day, you look in the distance right there, you see the Velodrome Stadium where I watched a football match. which was actually very good, but you get a good view of the whole city. As they said, this cathedral A walk inside the Notre Dame de la Garde is amazing. There's so much history here and you definitely feel it. I was talking to one of the nuns. She was giving me a brief history of Notre Dame. First, it's a basilica and not a fort like I've been calling it. And second, La Bonne Mère, as the locals call it, has had 3 lives. Originally a small chapel in the 1200s, then a fort in the 1500s, which you can still see the remnants of the walls nearby, before it was all destroyed and rebuilt to what you see now back in the mid 1800s. She also explained to me that the crypt was built way before the basilica. That's why they look totally different from one another. Because the crypt was built into the rock and the basilica is on top of it, which has a contrast of red and white marble stones and gold that you see in the basilica versus the simple drab look of the crypt. Now, you may notice the boats and airplanes suspended from the ceiling. They're offerings from the service members who thanks the Virgin for keeping them safe and bringing them home from war. Now, the views outside of Notre Dame gives an awesome panorama of the whole city. But interestingly, in the past, people were allowed to climb the ladder in the Virgin Mary statue all the way up to the top of the basilica and look out over the city through the eyes of the Virgin Mary. After a visit to the historic Notre Dame de la Garde, we hop on the city's Colorbus. The Colorbus is a great way to see the city. Just like the Le Petit train, you can hop on and hop off whenever you like to check out the sights. The good thing about the Colorbus is that it travels farther out into the city, making stops by the Velodrome and the Abbey St. Victor before hitting the coastline, where we're going to hop off to check out the beaches. You can get tickets online for €22, about $24 US. Plage du Prophète, or Prophet's Beach, is one of the oldest as well as one of the most popular beaches for locals and tourists alike. Just a 25-minute walk from the old port will put you here. While here, you might find yourself enjoying a glass of wine while people watching, or playing a game of volleyball. It's a very relaxing beach and the clouds burned away today to let the sun out. I wanted to show you guys more of the beach, but unfortunately, the part of the beach that I was at had several women chilling and sunbathing topless, and I wanted to give them some privacy. Now, the beach isn't that big, but it's very good for families as a rock wall does a good job of giving the beach protection from the rough waves. Now, the water in the front of the beach is not too deep. It's about knee deep to waist high in some areas, but if you decide to climb over the rock wall, you'll be right in the Mediterranean, and that's a totally different story. Now, if you have a bit of hunger, there's several vendors to grab snacks from on the sand, or a quick walk back up to the street above has more options. Well, it's time to start making our way back to the old port. And on the way, I want to show y'all one more cool place on the way. All right, let's go. This is what I want to show y'all. This is the Armistice Monument for all the people who served and died in World War I. This grand monument has an awesome view of the Mediterranean, and if you catch it at the right angle, the sunset falls right through the arms of the statue. While I was here taking in the sunset, a group of people were engaged in a yoga class on the lower level. After 30 minutes, we're back at the old port. It's close to 9 p.m. and you can see that the port is busy with activity, as the sun doesn't set till much later. As I walked around the port, I saw many of the restaurants and bars beginning to open for dinner, as they don't actually get really busy until close to midnight. It's more for the tourists who aren't used to having dinner at 11 or 12 at night. But I highly recommend that you walk around and see what else the Old Port has to offer. You might find something awesome during your walk. What's up, y'all? It's Friday night, still in Marseille. One more day I stayed so I can catch the rugby finals. So I'm on the way to the stadium right now to catch some rugby with a bunch of other fans. Hopefully it won't turn into what it was last Saturday when people got a bit over energetic and riot police had to come out and shoot some tear gas, but try to catch this game. And then check out all these people. Well, that's my time in Marseille. It's truly a city I highly recommend to anybody, especially if you want to try something different than the typical visit to Paris. This city in the south of France has a historic feel with French and Arabic influence. There's a lot to do and see here. I was only able to show y'all just a piece of what Marseille has to offer. I plan to return and I hope to see you here. As always, venture on.